The world where time is currency. This is a world where money has no value. Here, time is everything. If you want to buy something, you have to give up some of your life's time in exchange for that item. Only then can you purchase it. But to live a good life in this world, having time is essential. Because here, when a person reaches the age of 25, a one-year countdown starts on their wrist. The moment that countdown hits zero, that person dies. The rich had so much time that they could live for 1,000 years. The wealthy had created a separate world for themselves where they lived a peaceful life. But on the other hand, the poor people living in Ghetto City worked day and night to earn time for themselves. Otherwise, their lives would end. Will's story. Among these poor people lived a boy named Will who had only 23 hours left on his clock. Will lived with his mom. Since aging stops after 25 years, his mother, despite being 50 years old, looked very young. Today was Will's mom's 50th birthday. Will had worked overtime the night before to buy a bottle of champagne to celebrate his mom's birthday. Seeing this, Will's mom became very happy and told Will that she wanted to see her grandchildren. "Why don't you date a girl?" she asked. Will replied, "Who has time for all that?" Will's mom told him that she had to clear the electricity bill and the bank loan by tomorrow's deadline, or they'd face a fine. "So I'm leaving now and will come back tomorrow night after paying all the bills and bank loans," she said. She mentioned she only had 3 days of time left. Paying the electricity bill and the bank loan would consume almost all her time. "So tomorrow evening, make sure you wait for me at the bus stop so I can get some time from you before all my time runs out." Will agreed, saying he'd be there on time. Before leaving, Will's mom touched Will's hand and transferred 30 minutes into his body so Will could buy a good breakfast. After that, both left for their respective work. The encounter. On the way, a little girl came up to Will. She gave Will a capsule and asked for some of his time. Will smiled and gave the little girl 5 minutes of his life in the capsule, and she left. Here we learn that these people can also store their time in a capsule, which they can use and transfer whenever they want. After this, Will arrived at the factory for work. Before starting work, he went to get coffee, but there he saw that the price of everything had doubled. Where coffee used to cost 2 minutes, its price had now doubled to 4 minutes. Here, the price of anything could be raised at any time without an announcement. This really bothered Will. Reluctantly, Will paid 4 minutes of his life for coffee and got to work. Meeting Henry. After a full day's work, at night, Will went to a bar with his friend. Will's friend was a heavy drinker who was always drunk. Will's friend signaled to him that a man was buying everyone free drinks and had a lot of time. Hearing this, when Will looked at that man, he had 116 years of time. Seeing this, Will understood that this man was from Greenwich City because in Ghetto City, people had at most 2 days of time. Will approached that man and started warning him that he shouldn't be here. There was danger from thieves who would kill him and steal his time. So get out of here quickly. But the man didn't take Will's words seriously and ignored him, continuing to drink. Just then, a gangster named Fortis arrived at the bar with his group, and seeing him, all the people ran outside. Actually, these were the city's biggest thugs who forcibly stole time from people. Will's friend grabbed Will to take him away, but Will refused to leave and hid in a corner to watch everything. Fortis had come to rob all the time from that rich man. Fortis challenged the rich man to arm wrestle, saying whoever loses would give all their time to the winner. This time fight was like arm wrestling, where 2 people had to grip each other's wrists. Whichever person's wrist went down, their time would start decreasing, and that time would transfer to the person whose wrist was up. This way, the winner would store all the time from the other person in their body and kill them. Fortis asked the man, "Are you ready for this?" The rich man said he's had too much to drink and needs some time before he'd be ready for the challenge. Fortis agreed, saying, "All right, this is your last wish. Go, I'll give you a few minutes to get ready." Fortis also sent one of his men with him so he couldn't escape. The rich man came to the bathroom and started vomiting heavily because he was very drunk. If he arm wrestled with Fortis in this condition, his defeat was certain. Just then, Will arrived there. He knocked out Fortis's man and took the rich man out of that place with him, saving him from Fortis, and brought him to a safe location. The truth about the system. Will told the rich man, "I told you your life was in danger. Why are you deliberately wasting your time?" The man told Will his name was Henry and asked Will, "How old are you?" Will said 28. Henry said, "I'm 105 years old and I'm tired of life now. I've enjoyed everything in my life and I don't need this life anymore. I don't want to live." Hearing this, Will asked in surprise, "What are you exactly trying to say?" Henry replied, "It seems you're still unaware of the reality. Have you ever thought about why different time zones were created in this world? Why are the prices of things and taxes increased at any time in your time zone, Ghetto City? Actually, inflation is deliberately increased so that the poor people keep dying and the rich people of Greenwich time zone benefit from their deaths. In reality, this entire system was created by them. Just think, in Greenwich time zone, people have thousands of years to live. But here in Ghetto City, people work hard every day just to survive. This is because they forced you to do this. They don't want to give you more time so that you're forced to work for them. They increase inflation to force you to spend more and more time so they can live forever from your time. They've collected every single day of their lives from the deaths of the poor and helpless people. And I absolutely don't want to live such a life that came from the death of a poor, helpless person." Hearing all this, Will understood that Henry was a very kind-hearted person. Henry asked Will, "If you had as much time as me, what would you do?" Will smiled and said, "First, I'd stop looking at the time constantly." Because at that moment, Will only had 18 hours left. He kept checking his clock all the time, before sleeping, after waking, while eating, because he was afraid his time would run out and he'd die. He said, "My mom works very hard to manage the household. If I had as much time as you, I'd buy a nice house in Greenwich City for my mom, and we'd both live there happily." After this, Will told Henry that they'd have to stay there that night. By morning, the danger would pass, and Henry could return home. Then both of them went to sleep. The gift and the loss. In the morning, Henry woke up and saw that Will was still sleeping. He came to Will and transferred all the time he had to Will, keeping only a few minutes for himself, and went to sit on a bridge. When Will woke from sleep, he saw that Henry had left. As usual, after waking, Will glanced at his clock. 116 years had been added to Will's clock. Seeing this, his eyes remained wide open. He thought he was still asleep and dreaming. During this, his eyes fell on the window where it was written, "Don't waste my time." He understood that Henry had given him all his time. Just then, he saw Henry sitting at the edge of a bridge in the distance. Will quickly ran towards Henry, but it was too late because Henry now had only a few seconds left, and after a moment, he died with a jerk and fell from the bridge into the water below. Will was deeply saddened by Henry's death. Now Will had 116 years of life, and he understood that if he stayed here, people would think he killed Henry. Will quickly went to his friend's place. Will's friend was shocked to see so much time on Will's wrist. After that, Will gave his friend 10 years for the sake of their friendship. Seeing this, Will's friend thanked him from the heart. Will said staying here wasn't safe for him anymore, because seeing so much time, anyone could kill him to take his time. "Now I can buy a nice house in Greenwich City for my mom and we can live there happily." After that, Will said goodbye to his friend and left and went straight to the bus stop to wait for his mom, where 2 days earlier his mom had told him she'd arrive after paying the electricity bill and the bank loan. Tragedy at the bus stop. On the other side, Will's mom got on the bus to return home after paying all the loans and bills, but then she found out that in just one day, the bus ticket price had doubled. Where the ticket used to cost 1 hour, the price had now become 2 hours.
Seeing this, Will's mom became very worried because she only had 1.5 hours left. Will's mom requested the bus driver that her son would give her the remaining time at the next stop. But the bus driver flatly refused and said if she didn't have the time, she should walk. But Will's mom knew the next bus stop was very far. Even if she walked, it would take her 2 hours to reach that stop. At that time, there were many passengers on the bus. Will's mom requested them too, but no one helped her. Meanwhile, the bus left from there. Will's mom, Rachel, didn't have much time left, so she started running on foot towards home. On the other hand, Will was waiting at the bus stop with a bouquet of flowers for his mom because today he had to celebrate his mom's birthday. When the bus reached that stop, several passengers got off, but Will's mom wasn't among them. Seeing this, Will became worried and understood that his mom must be in trouble.
At the bus stop. On the other side, Will's mom got on the bus to return home after paying all the loans and bills. But then she found out that in just one day, the bus ticket price had doubled. Where the ticket used to cost 1 hour, the price had now become 2 hours. Seeing this, Will's mom became very worried because she only had 1.5 hours left. Will's mom requested the bus driver that her son would give her the remaining time at the next stop. But the bus driver flatly refused and said if she didn't have the time, she should walk. But Will's mom knew the next bus stop was very far. Even if she walked, it would take her 2 hours to reach there. At that time, there were many passengers on the bus. Will's mom requested them too, but no one helped her. Meanwhile, the bus left from there. Will's mom, Rachel, didn't have much time left, so she started running on foot toward home. On the other side, Will was waiting at the bus stop with a bouquet of flowers for his mom, because today he had to celebrate his mom's birthday. When the bus reached that stop, several passengers got off, but Will's mom wasn't among them. Seeing this, Will became worried and understood that his mom must be in trouble. He immediately ran off in search of his mom. Meanwhile, Rachel had only a few minutes left. She was knocking on the doors of passing cars and people's houses, asking to borrow some time, but no one was ready to help her. When Will went some distance, he saw his mom running. Seeing his mom running, Will understood she didn't have much time. He extended his hand and started running quickly toward her. Now Rachel had only 10 seconds left. She too was running at full speed toward Will. But just as Rachel reached her son Will, her time ran out, and she died. Seeing this, Will was deeply saddened because he had thought of so much for his mom. He started crying out loud. The investigation. By the next morning, Henry's dead body had been found by the timekeepers. The timekeepers investigated there. In today's world, there were timekeepers who were like the police. The job of these timekeepers was to stop crime. Timekeeper officer Raymond thoroughly investigated that place but didn't find any clues. Then Raymond's eyes fell on the CCTV camera near that bridge. He left for the CCTV room to check the footage. On the other side, Will had understood that the rich people living in Greenwich were responsible for his mom's death. They had made the people of Ghetto City desperate for every single second. Now Will set off toward Greenwich to take revenge on them. And from here begins the real story. Entering Greenwich City. To enter Greenwich City, Will had to spend a year of time and reached Greenwich City. When Will saw the lifestyle of the rich people there, his eyes remained wide open. People there had so much time that they had forgotten about dying. Here, even the bodyguards of rich people had more than 100 years of time. Seeing this, Will became red with anger because in the city Will came from, people only had 24 hours of life. Will stayed in an expensive hotel there. While eating, a very beautiful girl saw Will, as if she liked him. On the other side, timekeeper Raymond was checking the CCTV footage from the time of Henry's death. Then he saw Will in the footage. Although the camera hadn't recorded Henry falling from the bridge, Will appeared standing near the bridge in that footage, which made Raymond suspicious of Will. So Raymond asked his team to gather information about Will. During research, the timekeepers found out that a man named Will had spent a lot of time to enter Greenwich City, which confirmed for Raymond that Will had killed Henry. Raymond immediately left with his team toward Greenwich City. The casino and Sylvia. On the other side, in Greenwich City, Will came to a casino where some rich people were playing poker. Will also sat down with them. Seeing a new person, these people started laughing at him. But Will was skilled at gambling. Today was the best opportunity for him to take money from the rich people. Will played a poker bet with a rich man named Philip. Philip was the richest person there. He had his own time bank that gave time on loan to people. Philip's daughter was also sitting with him. This was the same girl who had been watching Will closely a while ago.
When the game started, Will bet all the time of his life and using his mind won 1,100 years from Philip. Seeing this, Philip's daughter Sylvia was quite impressed by Will. She invited Will to a party at her house tomorrow night. Then the next evening, Will bought a brand new car and arrived at Philip's party. During the party, Will and Sylvia started dancing, and Sylvia silently gave her heart to Will. She was about to tell Will about her feelings when timekeeper Raymond arrived there with his team and caught Will. Escape with Sylvia. Understanding Will a murderer, Sylvia also became angry with him. Raymond first took all Will's time from him, giving him only 2 hours. After that, he started arresting Will on the charge of Henry's murder. Raymond asked Will, "Why did you kill Henry?" Will told him, "I didn't kill him. He didn't want to live himself. That's why he gave me 116 years and later took his own life." But Raymond didn't believe Will's words. Will understood that Raymond would frame him in Henry's false case and put him in jail for life. So, seeing an opportunity, he freed himself by attacking Raymond's men, took their gun and took Sylvia hostage. Using Sylvia as a shield, Will escaped with her and, fooling Raymond and his men, returned to Ghetto City. During this time, Will had very little time left. He asked Sylvia for some time on loan, but Sylvia refused to give him even a second, because she also considered him Henry's tiller. So he drove the car faster toward Ghetto City to reach there and borrow time from someone. In his hurry, he didn't notice the barbed wire laid on the road ahead. Upon hitting it, Will's car fell off the bridge. In this accident, Will and Sylvia became unconscious.